La vie d'Adèle, chapitre 1 et 2, elle est là.
So, Blue is the Warmest Color, La vie d'Adèle, chapitre 1 et 2. So we have Léa Seydoux, she's here. Hello, Adèle Exarchopoulos, and hello, Abdellatif Kechiche. Thank you very much for coming along. So everything started with a graphic novel, and Blue is the Warmest Color, from Julie Marot. But there's lots more that you've brought to this film. It's a very free adaptation that you're giving us here, Abdellatif Kechiche.
Oui, moi j'avais été touché par
Yeah, I was very touched by this graphic novel, by the encounter between two people. Their paths crossed, and this encounter which would change the destiny of this young woman and define her development in life.
Here we are.
So there's this meeting, this love story, and there are other universes, other worlds that we've discovered in L'Esquive, the way you film L'Esquive, Games of Love and Chance. You've got these moments in the classroom, these meals, the family meals, family table. You're very fond of that sort of thing?
Oui, c'est peut-être des thèmes comme ça qui reviennent.
Yeah, these are themes that come around and
un peu à chaque film.
with each film.
J'aime beaucoup regarder les visages en
I like to look at faces that move,
que je montre,
and that's why I show
des scènes de repas,
a lot of scenes with meals, and this helps me to tell the film, if you like, and have a moving face. I mean, there are expressions which appear in movement, which you don't get otherwise. And they've got their own lives, and I love to film that. So you're out, you're questing, you're searching for life and truth with your camera. Yeah, truth in inverted commas. I mean, you're on a set, a film set, with cameras, with a technical team, and getting the actors to forget all the technical constraints is something that I really try to do with every film. So how did you do that? I mean, there's something which is very true. There's an incredible force. There's something obvious when we see you playing, both of you, when we see you acting. I mean, how does he work with you? Adèle, I mean, you're a real discovery here. What was it like? Tell us a bit about what happened. Well, you know, I haven't really got very much objectivity, but in terms of the directing, already we were very close. We talked a lot, and Abdel has got his own way of doing things, which is unique. I think I wouldn't be able to define it because it was just so overwhelming in a way. And Abdel, you know, when I knew what he wanted, I gave it to him because, you know, I didn't want to disappoint him. And I think what comes into play a lot is the people that you're playing with, the people you're acting with. And I was, you know, I just had extraordinary people around me. I was really lucky. So I think, you know, I can't define the way he directs exactly, but I mean, he talks a lot during the shoot. He talks a lot while he's shooting. He laughs a lot, and yeah. And at the same time, I mean, it's the moment. He's not going to come afterwards and say, you know, and you know, it's really the instant, the moment. That's where the truth is in the moment. And if he hasn't got it, he'll carry on. He'll carry on. He'll carry on. He'll carry on until you know you let yourself go, and you're just totally unself-conscious. And I think those are the moments when I think he has found his moment of happiness. Is that true, Adèle?
Oui, mais je crois qu'aussi.
I think as well.
J'aime pas beaucoup l'idée de diriger.
I don't like the idea of directing. I think it's something which you create together. These moments of life.
Je crois que moi, j'ai le sentiment de faire beaucoup plus confiance à l'acteur.
I think I trust the actor more, their instinct,
que d'essayer de
rather than trying to
je ne peux que l'accompagner.
I can just accompany them, support them, so that they can better express what they've got within themselves, which is not something that that I have, and I hope that I can catch this moment when it does suddenly sort of escape from them. Did something sort of escape from you? I mean, do you lose control when you're on his set? I mean, you've got this same way of sort of forgetting yourself in front of the camera. It's true that it's very difficult for me to forget myself, to be unself-conscious. And I was very curious to work with Abdel, to forget myself, to forget... And he's very instinctive and he works with life.
Avec ce qui se passe, ce que vous lui proposez.
With what's happening, with what you give him.
Avec ce qu'on lui propose, c'est vrai que
yeah, with what,
beaucoup de liberté quand même.
With what, yeah, he gives us a lot of freedom, and that's really, really, really nice. I mean, you can get it wrong, you can start again. I mean, it's no problem. It's really good. I remember I met you. You were shooting, and you said you were going to discover somebody with Adèle Exarchopoulos. And I mean, we're really discovering somebody here. I mean, what happened between the two of you? What made it work? I mean, to get something so strong on screen. It's true that, I mean, we get on well together in life as well. It's difficult to talk about her when she's here, but she's everything I like. She's so, she's got this, she goes for things, she's really brave, courageous, she doesn't, she doesn't look at herself, and she's really very moving.
What
would you say about Léa Seydoux? I mean, it's not difficult, but I mean, it's difficult to say things when the person's there, but I mean, it was two people who met, and that's why, Abdel doesn't direct a lot. I mean, it's this encounter, something which is created, and we discovered ourselves over a long period of time. We had the same concerns about the nude scenes and so on at the beginning. We just sort of got the giggles or whatever, but then afterwards, it was, instinctively, what I liked with Léa, I mean, was her as an actress, but not just that. I mean, it's her as a person, somebody surprising, somebody very joyous. I don't know, lots of things. With the nude scenes, I mean, they're very powerful, very strong. I've rarely seen scenes like that on screen, maybe never even. How did you prepare them? How do you shoot them? It's probably not easy for the actresses. How do you create these scenes? What are you looking for? For me, it's like a meal scene, it's like laughing, it's like crying. I need to look at it and find it beautiful. So there, I don't get the feeling that I was directing. But I tried. I mean, there are scenes which are difficult, but I think a meal scene is just as difficult, having to eat as well. Eat 14 bowls of spaghetti, I mean, it's difficult too. Or, I mean, I have to start again. And whether it's in a meal scene or a love scene or emotion, you've got to find the aesthetic. And maybe in these scenes, the complexity was to find the aesthetic. There was a lot of work on the light, on the framing of the shot, of the camera work, and to try and create create space around them, around the actresses, and they did all the work. And what was it like for you, Léa? These scenes in particular, because it must be difficult now for actresses. I mean, there's choreography, you've got to go for it. No, at the end of the day, it's not really all that difficult. I mean, body language is always true.
Je sais pas, véridique.
It's true. It's true. No, I mean, at some point, it's very sensual. It's very, I mean, you can't cheat. There's no acting. I mean, you can't look at each other either. You've got to forget yourself. Or you can't look at yourself. You were talking about beauty earlier on in this film, but not only in these scenes, but in, you know, very often you're looking for moments of beauty, even on children who are listening, their teachers, or discussions, exchanges, on literature, on painting. There's something, a quest for something beautiful.
Oui, on peut parler de quête, hein,
yeah, you can talk about a quest, you can talk about a perception, because it's difficult to define beauty, the notion of beauty, the perception of beauty. But it's true that there again, I need to wait, and you know, when I get the feeling that I've felt this moment, I've got this moment, which you can define as beautiful. So your script evolves as you shoot. The edit, it changes form several times. I mean, it really starts evolving with the encounter, you know, when the actors meet. They continue describing, inspiring, and during the whole of the shoot, I wanted to try lots of things, shoot lots of scenes, and then, I mean, a film is a period of time. Some things you keep, some things are wonderful, but you've got to take them out because you've got no choice. So it's something that continues, and I think it's done with the actors. I mean, they give life to the characters, and they are going to, you know, they're going to direct the writing as it comes. Adèle, your character is called Adèle. Are you Adèle? Are you the other Adèle? I mean, what's your relation to the other Adèle? Well, for the Christian name, I mean, Abdel films so many things. He can film you at the canteen, or as soon as he's got an idea, we'll put it in place and so on. And you know, you're always looking, you're always trying. And so in improvisation, a lot of the extras and so on were calling me by my first name. So we had lots of different first names, Jocelyne, Clémentine. And after a fortnight or so, Abdel, he said, "Do you mind if we call you Adèle?" I said, "No, it's fine. Okay, call yourself Adèle." So we kept Adèle. And I think there are things that really do sort of bring me very much in contact with her. And because, you know, I'm very sort of, I've got a lot of integrity. I'm very honest. Like my character are the things that we need. And you can't do any other ways. And you absorb all these emotions. You know, I'm a bit, I'm not as sensitive perhaps, but yeah, I am sensitive as well about my character. And I think unself-conscious and instinctive as well. It's a love story between two young women. There's a question of homosexuality, but I don't think that deep down that's the focal point of your film. Even if there is this sort of, you know, Léa Seydoux's character is a sort of an activist. Yes, true that very earlier on, I totally forgot that it was a story between women, between girls, or that dealt with the theme of homosexuality, and it didn't bother me during the shoot. I felt I didn't really have anything to say on that. And it's not good to say or to delve into things like that, you know, deep things and on homosexuality. You know, I preferred. It's not even I preferred. I mean, it just happened like that. You know, we were telling the story between. To people from everyday life, and what really interested me was the complexity of the relationship. Thank you very much, Abdellatif Kechiche, really honestly. Thank you, Adèle. Thank you, Léa Seydoux, Adèle Exarchopoulos, and Abdellatif Kechiche, who has come to present Blue is the Warmest Color in competition in Cannes. We'll see them in a few moments in the press conference.